And then we can move on to the next question on the menu. So the question asks us, what equation is represented by the graph below? This is the graph below. Let's get at least one point of interest here. My point of interest at when x is equal to 0, I'll write point of interest. Spelling is not my strong suit. When x is equal to, or we have our xy here, when x is equal to 0, y is equal to halfway between 0 and 2, so that is 1. Okay, now we got 4 options. This is a little multiple choice thing here. Something that we see is that when x is negative, we still got y values. Like, of course, they're pretty close to 0, but they're still there. That means that we can kind of disqualify these logarithm options from here. Because try taking the logarithm of a negative number. It ain't gonna work out. So if it was a logarithm type graph, we would not even have anything on the left side of x equals to 0. So A and B, disqualified from even being considered. So our remaining 2 options is y equals e to the power of x, or y equals e to the power of x plus 1. Let's sub in this point of interest. If it works for these equations, then we'll need to do further analysis, but I got a feeling this should tell us exactly which one of these options it is. Let's start with C, because that's what I see first. So we have e to the x equals y, which means that at the point of interest, when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, that means we should expect e to the power of 0 to be equal to 1. And any number that is not 0 to the power of 0 is 1. So C looks good. To be double sure, let's see what D is, and we should see that D is not going to work for this point of interest. Option D. So we have e to the x plus 1 equals y, and when we sub in x equals to 0, e to the 0 plus 1 equals y equals 2 equals y. Hey, that's not agreeing with our point here, so we know that option D is disqualified. Disqualified. Option D. D stands for disqualification. So we know that our answer has got to be option C. So let's take the look at the answer that we have on OneClass. And I guess with this solution, they're just showing graphically what the other options are. That's a perfectly valid way of figuring out this question too, is just to say, okay, let's plot all these graphs, see which one lines up. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like with these logarithms ones, you're generally not going to see anything on the left side of the 0. So because we did see something on the left side of the 0, we could immediately disqualify a lot of the logarithm stuff. Same thing with this one. Because the +1 factor, that kind of shifts the entire thing to the left. But even then, you could kind of still see like there is a vertical asymptote at x equals 1 where we will not see the graph go to the left of. Yeah, and then we saw that everything is good when we have y equals e to the power of the x. And when we sub in the point of interest, it does not work out for the other option, which was e to the power of x plus 1. And I guess they use the same method as us, so that's cool. So we can verify that this solution is good. The above solution is correct. Cool. Let's clean up this whiteboard and we can move on to the next question on the menu.